My book is called Disbelieving Technology, and it's basically written for pretty much the average person who might have some anxiety about technology or some kind of gnawing concern about the way society is evolving technologically. I've written the book basically to give people an argument or a story. I actually I'll frame it as a story about technology, about its origins, about its ultimate purpose. And this story is going to hopefully allow people to get a grasp of the big picture of technology. And as a result of that, to understand, its impact on their lives in the profound way that technology does impact our lives. And a big part of the book has to do with how technology affects not only what we can do, how we can, send messages, electronically around the world in a second and those kinds of things, but also the way technology affects how we look at the world, how we think about things in general. And I think ultimately that's my main concern. In the book, I say that most people, if you ask them what technology is, they're going to say, well, it's my iPhone, it's, an airplane. They're going to talk about technological things. And I'm not denying that that's the way most people look at technology. But I say in my text that technology is also about a way of looking at reality, perceiving the nature of things, and I focus on that because I think that has to be questioned at least. I don't assume that people will, think themselves out of thinking technologically, but it's a good thing to think critically about technology and to understand, its impact on your lives. And I think we're so immersed in it, it's so much a part of our everyday lives that we don't have the ability to sort of step back from it and to see, its true impact on our way of life. So my book actually says that technology has become something like a religion in a secular age. It's kind of like a faith, and we have. I don't think we're naive about technology, but ultimately we think it's a way that we can save ourselves and save the world technologically. We can make things better and progressively better through technology, the implementation of technology. And so there's this utopian or idealistic sort of element embedded in technology and the way we perceive things today. And I think that's simply wrong. I don't think that the world is perfectible. I don't think that technology can make for a perfect world in any sense. And as a matter of fact, I think technology often has a lot of unintended consequences which make the world a lot more precarious and a lot more difficult. But in my book, I'm basically saying, look, let's stop believing in technology, right? Let's stop believing that it can solve all problems. I think that societally, technology is going to continue to progress, and there's very little an individual can do to stop that overall progression. As an academic, I spend most of the day in front of a computer screen, right, like most people these days. Even though my life doesn't have anything to do particularly with, technology, it's technology dependent, and most people's lives are. So I'm not arguing. Basically, what I'm saying is participate in the technological society, but just don't believe in that kind of near religious promise it holds to, to make things better or to make them near perfect. So it's kind of adopting a skeptical attitude toward it. It's not saying don't use it. It's just saying, sometimes like with students, if you bring to their attention the fact that, over-reliance on texting and just mediated ways of relating to other people can actually, lead to some negatives. And there have been many studies to show that there's increased social anxiety and so forth amongst people who rely overly on technology. if you bring those let younger people speak about their experiences and about their anxieties, you'll see that quite often they are already, without knowing it, a little anxious about the connection that they have to it. And they realize if they force themselves, sometimes they have to, literally, or someone has to force them to not take advantage of these technologies, they find that it opens new avenues and new experiences that they actually enjoy, right? So I'm not being overly optimistic about the chances of really changing society fundamentally, but I'm saying we each, more than we realize, especially if we're aware of the issues and the main problems, we can distance ourselves a little bit from our over-reliance on technology. I mean, I think that's the best we can hope for.